Oh, this is my yeah. Oh, this is my
Good evening, Metaverse. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody watching the stream and who's going to be watching the recording of the stream. Everyone who was gracious enough to come and be present here tonight with us. Very thankful to have you all. You know, this is a very cool kind of thing. Um, my name is Rich. I'm from the Mirror Towers and the NFT DAO.
Good evening,
We founded
Metaverse.
this as
Hey,
this
welcome everybody.
grassroots
Welcome everybody
metaverse
watching the stream
alternative
and who's
to
going
the
to be
big
watching the
box
recording
corporate
of the stream.
metaverses.
Everyone who
We
was
wanted
gracious
something
enough
that
to
more
come and
closely
be
reflected the
present here
wants and
tonight
needs
with us.
of the little guy. Let's face it,
Very thankful
not
to have
everyone's
you
a
all.
Board
You know,
Ape
this
Yacht
is a
Club.
very
Not
cool
everyone's a
kind of
Christie's
thing.
or Sotheby's or JP
My name is
Morgan.
Rich.
But
I'm from the
every
Mirror Towers and
metaversian
the NFT
should get
DAO.
that kind of level of attention
We
and
founded
care
this
and
as this
utility out
grassroots
of their
metaverse
metaverse. So
alternative
we
to
built
the
the Mirror
big
Towers as
box
this way
corporate
to be
metaverses.
a nice,
We
easy
wanted
to
something that
use,
more
mobile
closely
friendly,
reflected the
multi
wants and
platform,
needs
multi
of
chain
the little guy. Let's
compatible
face it,
metaverse.
not everyone's a Bored Ape
It's a
Yacht Club.
place
Not
where
everyone's a
you can
Christie's or
bring your
Sotheby's
art
or
from the
JP Morgan.
Web3, so you
But
could bring your
every metaversian
NFTs into
should
it. You
get
could
that
bring
kind of
your
level of attention
utilities,
and
as we're going to
care
talk
and
about today,
utility
because even we're
out of
going
their
beyond
metaverse. So we
the
built the
usual
Mirror
just an
Towers as
art
this
show
way
this
to
time,
be
and we're
a
going
nice,
to
easy to use,
a
mobile
showing
friendly,
of like a
multi
community that's
platform,
building
multi
tools
chain
and
compatible
um,
metaverse. It's a place where
useful
you can bring
platforms
your art
in this
from the
Web3 space,
Web3, so you
because
could bring your
NFTs are more than
NFTs
just
into it.
about
You
the
could bring
art.
your
They're a
utilities, as we're going
medium
to talk
of
about
marketing
today, because
yourself, right? A
even
medium
we're
of
going
branding.
beyond
And
the
this
usual
means
just an art
finding
show this
tools that
time,
help
and we're
boost
going
NFT
to
creators, right? Just like the
a
towers.
showing of like a
We built
community that's
this
building
last
tools
December as an
and
effort to give our community at the NFT DAO
useful
a place
platforms
where they could
in this
present their
Web3
art. You
space,
know, not
because
everyone had
NFTs
3D
are more than
experience,
just
not
about
everyone
the
had
art.
blockchain
They're a
experience.
medium
So
of
we wanted
marketing
to
yourself,
bridge
right? A
that gap
medium of
and help some
branding.
of the smaller
And this
artists. You know,
means
we're a lot more
finding tools that
interested
help
in
boost
the up and
NFT
coming
creators,
10
right? Just
follower
like the
artist that
towers.
has one piece
We built
minted
this last
than the
December as an
already,
effort
you know,
to give
successful and
our
rolling
community at
million
the NFT
listener
DAO a
Spotify
place where they
artist,
could present their
because
art.
that's
You
where
know,
we see
not
the most
everyone
change
had
and growth.
3D
You know,
experience, not everyone had
we
blockchain
don't care as
experience.
much to
So we
add
wanted to
5% to
bridge that
somebody's
gap
success
and help some of the
as much
smaller
as we do
artists. You
boost
know,
somebody
we're a lot
times
more
2 times
interested
3
in
times
the up
10.
and
You know,
coming 10
so
follower
we
artist that
built the
has
Mirror
one piece
Tower
minted
as a
than
platform
the
where
already,
artists can be boosted
successful
up
and rolling
and
million
represented. You know, we had
listener
this amazing
Spotify artist,
International Women's
because
Day
that's where we see the
celebration
most
March 8th,
change and growth. You know,
and that really
we don't care as
catapulted
much
us
to
into
add
this live
5% to
events kind
somebody's
of life.
success as
We
much as
found that
we
these
do
live
boost
events
somebody times 2
are
times 3
collector
times
friendly. We
10.
did
You
data
know, so
analytics on the
we built the
RSVPs for
Mirror
our proof of
Tower
concept
as a
event and saw that
platform where
collectors
artists can
like
be
this
boosted
kind of
up
stuff. They're
and
tired of
represented. You know,
scrolling
we had
through
this
the OpenSea.
amazing
You know,
International Women's
they
Day
see so many
celebration March
dozens of
8th,
OpenSea pages.
and
They've seen
that
so many
really
copies of that same spatial
catapulted us
gallery
into this live
that
events
sometimes
kind of
having
life.
a little extra
We
touch
found that these live
really
events
boosts a
are
brand. You know,
collector
us
friendly. We
Web3
did data
natives,
analytics on
we've
the
seen all kinds of
RSVPs for our
metaverses,
proof
but
of
for the
concept
Web2,
event and
they
saw that
want something easy.
collectors
They want
like
something
this
that they can
kind of
just
stuff.
plug
They're
into the
tired of
browser.
scrolling
They want
through the
something that works
OpenSea.
on
You
high-end
know,
devices and low-end
they see
devices.
so many dozens of
Their
OpenSea
clients may not
pages.
have
They've
VR
seen so
headsets
many
to jump into
copies
a
of that
fancy
same
metaverse,
spatial
right?
gallery that
Their clients
sometimes
may not be
having a
willing
little
to
extra
install
touch
apps, and
really
they might
boosts
be
a brand. You
artists
know,
or builders on
us
other
Web3
chains. You
natives,
know,
we've
when we
seen
talk
all
about
kinds of
Solana
metaverses, but for
NFTs,
the Web2,
Cardano
they want
NFTs,
something easy.
Tezos
They want
NFTs,
something that they can
the
just plug
other
into the browser.
platforms are
They
only
want something that
beginning
works
to
on high-end
support
devices and
these.
low-end devices.
And we wanted
Their
to
clients may
come out of
not
the
have
bat
VR headsets to jump into a
multi-chain. So we
fancy
wanted
metaverse,
something
right?
where you could
Their
host
clients
both
may
your
not be
Web
willing to
2 and
install
Web
apps,
3
and they might be
brands and
artists
content
or
and
builders
businesses,
on other
etc.,
chains. You know,
in one
when we talk
place.
about
You
Solana
can tap
NFTs,
into
Cardano
that $2
NFTs,
trillion crypto
Tezos
market, probably
NFTs,
less now with the
the
dip.
other
And
platforms are only beginning to
you don't have to have
support
the
these.
3D modeling or
And we wanted
blockchain
to
experience
come out of the bat
that is usually
multi-chain. So we
required.
wanted something where
It's a
you
little
could
different than
host
your
both your
typical
Web2
metaverse.
and
It's not really like a
Web3
video game, right? Which
brands
seems to
and
be a
content and
trend. But
businesses,
let's
etc.,
face it, a lot of
in one
Web2 brands, they
place.
want something a
You
little
can
more
tap
serious.
into that
Look
$2
at something
trillion
like
crypto
Skype,
market,
right?
probably less
Skype
now
might
with the
not have
dip.
been as cool and
And
fun as Discord, but
you don't have
Skype
to have the
was a
3D
business standard
modeling or
because it did what
blockchain
they needed it to
experience
do in the way they
that
wanted,
is
right?
usually
We
required.
all
It's a
know
from being in Web3 how we would see it ideally in the future. And I think we're all kind of building towards that, you know? But for now, this is something that a Web2 brand can easily understand. It's a way to package the metaverse in a palatable, traditional way, right? So you can think of this as like a 3D website. It's not really a gaming metaverse. It's not really fancy in many regards, but what this does do is it gives that huge boost to branding and marketing potential to Web2 brands that are metaverse or NFT curious. We've onboarded actually many artists from the Web2 space that sold their photos, on Shutterstock, that sold their music through Spotify, and this makes a huge difference. This has, we had Marty Gerbs at our previous Metapalooza concert, and he sold out his, I think it was 20 or 25 edition NFT music album after his concert here. Because, everyone's performing in Twitter Spaces, everyone's performing in Twitch. This kind of gives that extra couple inches boost compared to the competitors until metaverses really start to take off and become mainstream. Right? So, come check us out. Our link is in the description. We're gonna add the link as well to the chat, right? We're doing giveaways today at some point during the stream, during the event. So if you entered on Twitter, you just stick around. But if you did not enter on Twitter, or if you did enter on Twitter and you want to try for the second prize, all you got to do is put your Ethereum wallet address in the chat in the actual metaverse or in the chat in the YouTube live stream, and we're going to be picking one at the sometime in the middle, sometime near the end of the concerts to do the giveaways. And the giveaways were very graciously donated by the ETH Club community. Now I want to just talk a couple minutes briefly about them before we get started. So Ethereum names are starting to pop up. You're probably seeing the number Ethereum names going to 50 ETH, and a lot of people have been asking, well, why, and what does it mean, and what do they do, right? So to go briefly over that, when you go on Twitter and you see these .eth names at the ends of people's handles, that's not just a signal for that they're into Ethereum or that they're into Web3. What this is, it's an actual NFT with utility that they hold. This NFT with utility, it's like a .com for Web3, and it goes so far beyond just being somewhere that routes you to their content, right? That .eth name, that can be a way to route payments to any or to multiple different blockchains, right? So you can receive payments on Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, all through that one .eth name, right? Massive utility there alone. But then you go a step further, and what we do is we host an uncensorable website with our Ethereum name. So if in a Web3 enabled browser, you go to the nftdao.eth, MetaMask will pick it up, or Brave browser will pick it up, and it'll actually route you to our website. So and the website itself is actually hosted on Filecoin. So what this does is, with a combination of technologies, it lets you have this Web3 native, hard to censor, hard to take down website of your own. And there's actually some other DeFi protocols working on platforms like this, like Cap Finance. And it gives you branding, You can think of this as something that kind of gives you a check mark, a blue Twitter check mark of sorts on the popular Web3 platforms and on the blockchain, right? If you look up transaction histories for your account, if you look up your account on OpenSea and LooksRare, you'll actually get to see your .eth name instead of the 0x whatever. So it gives the collectors, it gives prospective clients that reassurance that you're actually the wallet that you're saying you are, and that the payments and the people that they're doing business with are all happening as intended, right? And it just looks nice, let's be honest. I mean, you stick in people's brains better that way, just like a good .com does. We are arguably in the first 1% or less of Ethereum name registration and usage and utility. Much less, more than likely. Ethereum names just passed 1 million names minted this week, and that's barely passing .io. We're not even at 1% of what .coms are, but Ethereum names are going to be so much more. there's going to be, it's hard to imagine. To wrap it up, I just want to point that back to our sponsors for the night, the Ethmoji Club. They have taken these Ethereum names in a new direction, and they're moving away from words, they're moving away from letters, and we're moving towards a world run by symbols, right? Because they just communicate so much more. And they found out that you can actually put emojis in these Ethereum names. What that means is that instead of John 25592, you can have three mirrors .eth instead of Apple official .eth. You could actually have the three Apple emojis .eth, right? What this does is it lets you communicate a massive amount of information just by doing a transaction in Web3. Imagine getting dumped on by the guy who has the clown emoji and Ethereum, or the poop emoji Ethereum, right? It adds this level of nuance that is impossible to attain with words, right? And it's so succinct that it's a really powerful marketing tool and branding tool for your NFT project, right? So one of the members of the Ethmoji Club, they've donated 2 NFTs to be given away today. One of those NFTs is from Twitter, right? So it's going to be one of the people that entered over the past few days by engaging with our Twitter posts. And one of them is going to be one here live today. So if you're here in the audience right now, if you're hearing my voice, go ahead and put your Ethereum address into either the YouTube live chat or the chat here in the mirror towers, and we're going to be picking throughout the day who's going to win these emojis. Now, what are up for grabs are a quad cheeseburger emoji Ethereum name. So what that means is 4 cheeseburgers.eth. And then we got 4 full moon faces.eth. Now, these are some of the bigger ones, because when you get repeating digits or when you get repeating emojis, these have been more valuable recently, just for their meme worthiness, just for their marketability. It's just more fun. When I've sent payments to people, I can copy their 0x address. That's not any fun though, right? But me typing in, eggplant emoji, peach emoji, sweat emoji, that just, I don't know, it just makes it more personal, makes it more human, makes it feel less like I'm doing a business transaction and more like I'm sending a text, And this is going to this is going to revolutionize the space. And I feel that it's going to be onboarding many more people that would have been turned off by the very starchy corporate technical feel that Web3's taken so far. But we get to do it in a way that's not necessarily unicorn centric for those who didn't really fall into that Ethereum vibe. And this is going to make want to thank everybody again for coming today. We got a great lineup. We got Brian. He's from the Midwest. His artist name is Bai E. You're going to find all of our artists' content by the stage here, so you can go and find their platforms. Like Brian made this platform called Edit Tracks for NFT creation for music. We've got our other artists, Spence and KRP. They're from the Twitter circle. They're from that Twitter music community, which I found is such a small world. I mean, it is really cool how small of a world this has become, where people all over the world, from the UK, from India, from the United States, from South and Central America, all like, oh yeah, I know that person. I performed with them in space, or I performed with them in a clubhouse, right? The heart of NFTs is community, and let's face it, Ethereum names are NFTs. They trade like them, they market like them. 10K was the equivalent of a profile pic project, which means that the NFT culture carries. The DeFi culture, the crypto culture, it carries significantly less in this place when it comes to serving the business, serving the industry, Tokenomics for gamifying and for DeFi-fying, right, will come in. So you've seen some NFTs with passive income, but this is kind of that bridge. Ethereum names are that bridge between the two, serving this fun, visual, interactive, engaging community side, and also a very useful technical Web3 and finance oriented and wider scale, tech oriented service. So really thankful to be supported by them today. They were the inspiration for the Mirror Towers logo and for the Ethereum name, 3mirrors.eth. And this concert is a way for me to try and offer a platform to give something back for the massive amount of heads up and alpha that it was to get into emojis in November. So I just want to give them a huge thanks. And you all for being here, for being some of the first in a metaverse, for helping bridge that gap to Web to bring in those other, 6 point something, 7 point something billion people that aren't really Web3 natives yet, and converting them over to the good side, to the right side of history, huh? We're gonna have our first performance at about 7 o'clock here, with Bai. We're gonna give him a few minutes for that. If you check the window to the edge of the hall, you're gonna see the donor who has 3 smiling faces emoji.eth. And he donated all of the giveaways happening tonight. You can go click on that picture and it'll take you to his Twitter profile. Urge you to follow him. Massive emoji and Ethereum name alpha there. But also we have the actual Emoji Club Twitter there as well, because we have, we're hosting community participants from that club here tonight, and we're kind of putting this together in their honor. So do make sure to go follow the Emoji Club as well. This is exciting. I gotta say, this is really fun and cool, and putting events together here, it's always a thrill because people are learning and growing and engaging with the tech, and the tech is growing alongside them, right? This constantly evolving space always brings something new to the table, and let's be honest, if you're a musician performing here tonight, you're probably one of the first couple thousand on Earth to have performed in a metaverse, period, right? This is a unique opportunity, and we're starting to see it pick up, and we're starting to see Steam pick up as a whole for the metaverse. So this is just a real honor to get to be a part of this revolution with you all. If you're a musician performing here tonight, you're probably one of the first couple thousand on Earth to have performed in a metaverse, period, right? This is a unique opportunity. So I want to give you again my profound thanks. It's going to be a great show. The music starts in about 5 minutes. So how the lineup for tonight is going to go is we've got a 1 hour house acid trap DJ set tonight, and that's by Brian. He's from the Midwest. We've got Spence coming in. Spence does like a Grateful Dead kind of folk kind of sound, but he really rocks it. It's not necessarily a soft sound. It can be pretty intense and engaging too. A great mix, all high energy tonight, I would say. Around that time, we're going to start doing the giveaway. We're going to give a hint of that. And then after that, we have KRP. He's more of a traditional musician from India, but he's going to bring us a live performance of a few of the instruments that he can play. So a little bit of everyone for something tonight, and I think it really exemplifies what the metaverse is. The metaverse is not just the techno crowd. It's not just the finance crowd. It's not just the corporate crowd, right? It's a little bit of everybody. The metaverse, eventually, the idea of it, considering that Facebook Meta branded around it, is to bring in their billion-plus users, right? That means they got to make it palatable to everybody. That means we got to get rid of this mindset of it's a particular demographic or particular region or particular net worth, and remember that the idea of this technology is to onboard as many as we can. So I love having this really diverse crowd, and I love being able to make it reflect the actual NFT community as it really is at its grassroots, not the influencer level, more the actual artist coming in and trying to bring value with their creativity level. So love it. We're going to have Brian on in about a couple minutes here. I'm going to go do a quick sound check and check the stream again. You folks sit tight. If you haven't yet, go ahead and post that Ethereum name into the comments, and we're going to get the show started in just a minute. Trying to bring value with their creativity level. So love it. We're going to have Brian on in about a couple minutes here. I'm going to go do a quick sound check and check the stream again. You folks sit tight. If you haven't yet, go ahead and post that Ethereum name into the comments, and we're going to get the show started in just a minute. Trying to bring value with their creativity level. So love it. We're going to have Brian on in about a couple minutes here. I'm going to go do a quick sound check and check the stream again. You folks sit tight. If you haven't yet, go ahead and post that Ethereum name into the comments, and we're going to get the show started in just a minute. Bring value with their creativity level. So love it. We're going to have Brian on in about a couple minutes here. I'm going to go do a quick sound check and check the stream again. You folks sit tight. If you haven't yet, go ahead and post that Ethereum name into the comments, and we're going to get the show started in just a minute.
Hey guys, this is Bai. I just wanted to thank y'all for having me out. Richard, what you're doing here is awesome. Um, yes, I'm from the Midwest, Chicago, and I met Richard looking for Chicago-based projects to support. We're all out here as independent artists, bootstrapping our projects, and fighting for independence from my perspective. So. My project, edittracks.live, has been expansion from, I've been doing that since the mid-90s in Chicago, very focused on house music and the lineage of Frankie Knuckles, Ron Hardy, and edit culture, right? So what you're going to hear is very loop-oriented. It's very experimental and it's very analog. It's a modular rig that I'll be playing some acid house tracks on. So if you check out Edit Tracks Live, that is a tool for me to start inserting what you're about to hear as a place for me to distribute music completely independently of digital service providers and, even Bandcamp, as none of that represents the bottom of the funnel. Edit Tracks does, along with Web3. So I look forward to the next hour. Thank you for coming, guys. And I'll be floating around if you want to ask questions.
Awesome. Everybody give Brian a hand and go check out. I put Edit Tracks in the comments there. I'm pumped about this, man. I appreciate you coming.